fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo Silver, the Lone Ranger. With his faithful Indian companion, Tonto, the masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early western United States. The stories of his strength and courage, his daring and resourcefulness have come down to us through the generations. And nowhere in the pages of history can one find a greater champion of justice. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. From out of the past come the thundering hoofbeats of the great horse Silver. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Come on, Silver! Faster, boy, faster! Hi-yo, Silver! Away!
Sam Slater never missed a chance for easy money, no matter what was involved, as long as there was little risk for him. When he learned about Sarah Thompson and that she was traveling alone on the stage to Dodge City, he made it a point to sit next to her for the last part of the journey, ignoring the young lad who sat across from them.
So, you're going to your uncle's place, eh?
Yes, Mr. Slater. And that's the third time you've said the same thing.
Well, I sort of run out of talk. But you want to be sure of one thing. Be mighty careful in this part of the country.
My uncle will meet me in Dodge City.
Well, if he don't, if he's late or something, you just trust me. I'll see that no harm comes to you. Like I say, you've got to be mighty careful of outlaws.
Thank you, Mr. Slater, but I'm sure my uncle will be...
You, don't know much about Dodge City, do you?
No, I don't.
Full of outlaws. Yes, sir, and any one of them would steal your cash before you could turn around.
Don't worry, they won't have the chance.
I sure hope not. I expect you got the money in a safe place, ain't you?
Mm-hmm.
Not in your baggage.
Why?
Well, them thieving coyotes could carry off a bag as easy as nothing. It's been done a lot of times, I can tell you. Of course, if you got it in the pocket of your clothes or something, you'd have to carry you. It wouldn't be so easy. Now, if you want me to, I could get your bag from the top of the stage, and you could change the hiding place.
We're almost to Dodge City, Mr. Slater, so I don't think that will be necessary.
I hope your uncle's there to meet you.
I'm glad we'll be there before night comes.
Yep. It's a bad place to get to after dark, especially for a girl like you. Women folks are scarce in Dodge City. And the handsome ones just ain't.
Thank you.
I'll be glad to get the cash from your bag now and keep an eye on it for you till you see your uncle.
No, thanks.
It ain't safe to leave a sizable sum in your bag, like I say. Of course, if it's just a bit of cash you don't mind losing.
I'd mind losing it, all right. It's all I have left after paying the expenses for Pa's funeral.
It'd be a doggone shame to lose it. What'd you say your uncle's name was?
Ned Sawyer. Do you know him?
Sawyer? No, can't say that I do.
He has a cattle ranch beyond Dodge City.
That's so. Now, that'll be mighty nice for you. Your Uncle told you much about Dodge City?
Oh, yes. He wrote to me all the time, and then...
Did he ever mention the Lone Ranger to you?
The Lone Ranger?
Ah, you sound like you heard as much about him as some of the folks around here.
Oh, my goodness, no wonder. Uncle Ned said he'd be a dead man if it weren't for the Lone Ranger.
No.
That's right. Uncle Ned wrote and said there was a man named Gopher Gage.
Who?
Gopher Gage. And from what my uncle said, he must be a dangerous outlaw.
Dangerous? Aye, ma'am, there ain't a man in shoes this part of the West would cross that critter.
Really?
He's a polecat. Like you said, a right dangerous one. Line up all the toughest outlaws in the country, and Gopher Gage is the sneakingest, meanest one of the lot.
Oh.
How'd your uncle happen to meet him?
When he tried to steal Uncle Ned's cattle money, he wouldn't tell the hiding place, so Gopher Gage shot him. I don't know how it happened exactly, but just then the Lone Ranger came in and then...
And Gopher Gage lit out, eh?
Yes.
Sounds just like him.
Well, Uncle Ned wrote me all about it. I just got the letter before I left home.
I don't like to scare you none, Miss Sarah. As long as Gopher Gage is alive, he ain't going to rest till he squares things with your uncle. He never once stages it after something he didn't get.
Uncle Ned said he'd left.
He might have left, but he didn't go far. He'll stay in hiding. That's why he's called Gopher. And when he sees the chance, he'll come back and get your uncle.
You mean you think he's still around here?
Yes, ma'am, I do. And I sure hope your uncle has plenty of cowmen around. He'll need every one of them for protection. Well, here we are in Dodge City.
I wonder where Uncle Ned is.
Hi there, fellas.
Oh, there he is. There's my uncle in that buckboard.
Slater!
Uncle Ned.
I'll get your bag down for you, miss. Load it on the buckboard if you like.
Oh, thank you.
It won't take but a minute.
Come over here, honey. Let me have a look at you.
I'm coming.
Right pretty, ain't she, huh? That's Ned's niece.
Right handsome girl.
She'll make all the young fellas sit up and take notice.
Well, come you say you're all grown up. Why, the last time I saw you, you was a kid in pigtails.
You didn't think I'd stay that way now, did you, Uncle Ned? How are you?
Oh, fine, just fine. I can't get around as much as I'd like to, darn it, but I will. Come on, get up here. Where's your baggage?
Oh, a man who was on the stage is getting it for me.
Well, that bullet of Gage's almost finished me. First time I've been to town since the varmint shot me.
Here's your baggage, ma'am.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, stranger.
It's all right. Always glad to help a lady. Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. That was nice of you.
Well, I reckon we'll head for the ranch now. I want to hear all about your paws being sick and everything that happened to you.
Oh, Uncle Ned, everything happened so quickly. But I'm glad to be out here with you. Tell me more about this man, Gopher Gage.
Oh, you'll hear about him. Most everybody does that comes to these parts.
And tell me more about the Lone Ranger.
Get up there.
Yeah, first time Ned's been to town since his accident.
Yeah, don't look none too good. But that niece of his is sure a handsome girl.
Yep, sure is. Hey, look at the youngster that was on the stage.
Maybe he's the one the stranger spoke about.
Looks like he might be. Oh, he's coming this way.
I'm looking for Sheriff Jenks.
That's me, Bob.
Oh, my name is Dan Reed. I was told that you'd have my horse waiting for me.
What's the horse's name?
Victor. He's a big white stallion.
Seems like a lot of horse for a young fella like you.
Oh, he is a lot of horse. But I can handle him. I was taught to handle him.
Come this way, Dan. Just came in on the stage, huh?
Yes, sir.
Hard trip?
No, sir. I hope we don't have far to go. I'm in a hurry.
Who was the gent that left the horse for you, Dan?
A friend of mine.
He was a nice-looking gent.
Yes, sir. Hey, that's Victor. He sees me. Hi there, Victor, old boy.
That white critter must be most as big as the horse this here Lone Ranger rides. Ever seen the Lone Ranger?
How are you, Victor? Golly, it sure is good to see you. But thanks for taking care of him, Sheriff Jenks.
Don't mention it.
I hope he hasn't been saddled too long.
Nope, I was told you'd be in on the stage, so I kept him saddled.
Well, thanks again. Get up, Victor.
Does look like the Lone Ranger's horse. I wonder.
Oh, Victor, oh.
Dan, I'm glad to see you.
It's great to be back.
Did you enjoy your visit with Mustang Mag?
Yes, sir. But I've got to tell you, there was a thief on the stage.
Oh, did he rob you?
No, sir, he robbed a girl. Ned Sawyer's niece.
Ned Sawyer?
Yeah, she spoke of you and what you did for her uncle.
Are you sure the girl was robbed?
I saw a fella called Sam Slater do it. He took her bag from the stage. But before he handed it down, he cut a hole in it and stuck his hand in and drew out money. I didn't tell our sheriff. I suppose I should, but I wanted to talk to you first.
Did this fellow Slater stay on the stage?
No, he walked away from town on foot. I noted the direction.
Good. As soon as I saddle up, we'll go after him.
I knew I'd see you in a few minutes. That's why I didn't tell the sheriff.
All right, Dan. Give me a hand with the saddle. We'll see about recovering that money.
While the Lone Ranger and Dan set out to follow Sam Slater's trail, Sarah began unpacking her bags at the Sawyer Ranch. Ned, resting in a chair after the exertion of the trip to the station, wound up his tale of the outlaw, Gopher Gage.
Well, like you said, that's the last I ever seen of him. And to tell you the truth, I ain't hankering for another meeting.
Oh, you're right. He doesn't... Uncle Ned.
What's wrong?
My money, it's gone.
What?
I had it right here in the corner of my bag. And look, the leather's been cut. It's gone, every bit of
Oh,
it.
you might have put it somewhere else. Maybe...
No, it was here. That man on the stage.
No. You better look careful, sir.
But you can see for yourself where the bag's been cut. No wonder he was so interested in where I had my money.
What do you mean, child?
His name was Slater. And all the way into Dodge City, he kept telling me I should watch my money. Then when he took my bag from the
He could
stage...
have taken the money then.
Yes, that's it. But what'll I do? Everything I had in the world was in that bag.
Don't you worry, man. I'll get my boys together right away, and you tell them what this fella looks like. We'll start after him.
Wait a minute.
Yeah?
This Slater man, could he have been Gopher Gage?
The fella that brought them bags over to the buckboard? No, he was tall and skinny. This here Gage is short and heavy. They'd have been the same ones, I don't know, to believe me. Hey, Ricky, you better go out and give that bell rope a couple of good yanks. That'll bring the boys in.
All right.
Yes.
Where?
Right outside the door there on your left.
Oh, yes, I see it.
They'll be here in a minute. Once they get a description of the varmint, he's as good as cut. Won't get far in this country.
But I can't prove he took the money, Uncle Ned.
You're sure he's the one that took it, ain't you?
He's the only one who could have.
Well, we'll put 2 men on his trail.
While the men from Sawyer's Ranch set out to find Sam Slater, the Lone Ranger and Dan were already close on the trail of the man who'd ridden into Dodge City earlier that day.
Golly, you don't suppose he could have gone far, do you?
No, not if he were on foot, as you say, Dan.
I watched him leave the station, and besides...
I think we're on the right trail, Dan.
You think he could belong to Gage's gang?
No, Gage works alone. Always has.
I thought there was something funny, the way he kept talking to Miss Thompson, asking her about her money and everything.
It's a good thing you kept your eye on him.
Yes, sir, I remembered what you told me. I watched him pretty close. Hey, look over there.
Oh, Silver.
Oh, hope he can.
Steady, big fellow.
Oh, that looks like Slater.
He's been shot, Dan.
Gee, you're right.
Wait, let's see if he's got that money. No, just as I thought.
You mean it's gone?
Not a sign of it. 2 riders headed this way.
Hey, maybe they're the ones who killed Slater.
They're riding slowly, as if they were following a trail. Mount Victor, Dan.
Yes, sir.
Steady.
Hey, Whitey, look.
Not so fast, you two. You missed.
Yeah, that fellow on the ground there looks like Slater. Oh, what?
Now, this man's been shot.
Just full of news, ain't you? Did you take the money from him?
When I give the word, Dan, be ready to ride.
Speak up, you. Anybody wearing a mask in these parts has a lot of explaining to do. Now, the money ain't on this hombre, Slim. These two must have killed him and took it.
In that case, we'll take the 2 of them back to Mr. Sawyer.
All right, Dan, ride. Crouch low.
Get up, Victor.
Stay put, Mr. Round. Clear!
I'll Silver! Away!
The curtain falls on the first act of our Lone Ranger story. Before the next exciting scenes, please permit us to pause for just a few moments. Now, to continue our story. The Lone Ranger and Dan found Sam Slater mysteriously murdered and robbed of the money he'd stolen from Sarah Thompson. Discovered by Ned Sawyer's cowhands beside the body, they had to flee in order to continue their search for the man who killed Slater. They followed the tracks of the horseman to a stream of water.
Hey, golly, they stop here.
Yeah, whoa, Silver, whoa.
Oh, boy.
I'm afraid you're right, Dan.
What are you going to do now?
Let's ride upstream a bit. I don't expect to pick up the tracks again.
Yeah, it's beginning to get dark, too.
There's one man who always lost his pursuers by hiding his tracks in the water.
Gopher Gage?
Yes. He's in the vicinity waiting his chance to get back at Mr. Sawyer. As long as he stays in this part of the country, Sawyer's in danger.
You're going to warn Mr. Sawyer?
We'll have to do more than that. Come on, Dan. We're going to the Sawyer Ranch.
Get up, Victor.
Come on, Silver.
In a thicket just off the bank of the stream, a rider stood beside his horse, his cruel eyes narrowing as he watched the two white stallions disappearing from view.
The Lone Ranger. On the trail of Gopher Gage again. Let him trail me. Someday I'm going to drop that hombre if it's the last thing I do. Yeah, there's just two things I'm waiting to do. Get Sawyer and the Lone Ranger. All right, come on. Hey, wait a minute, you mangy nag. He's still around. Yeah, them two varmints is well on their way to Sawyer's by now. Wait till they tell the old man Gage is still around. Yeah, throw a scare into him, it will. Not half the scare he'll get when I'm holding a gun on him the next time. Get up on this horse. That's it. All right, get up there. Across the bank. Easiest money I got my hands on in a long time. If I hadn't been sneaking around Dodge City, I never would have seen that fool taking it. Oh, that, oh, boy. Oh. That Lone Ranger's at Sawyer's. I'm heading the other way. Ain't ready just yet to meet up with him. But when I do... Get up there, boy.
Meanwhile, as darkness fell, the two cowhands gave up following the trail of the masked rider and his young companion to return to the ranch house. As Ned Sawyer listened to their story, his expression changed from amazement to satisfaction.
There was no catching them once they got a start. Never saw anything traveling all my life like them two white horses.
And you say one of them was masked?
Yes, ma'am. The other one was a youngster. Found him right beside Slater's body.
What about the money?
What about it? It was gone. That masked feller made off with it. We followed them, but it was getting so dark you couldn't keep to their tracks.
You boys have done a fine job.
Boss, we just missed it, I tell you. We'd have been a few minutes earlier, we'd have caught them in the act of murder.
Yeah, it's a darn good thing I ain't depending on your brains to run this ranch.
We'll start out again the first thing in the morning, Mr. Sawyer. By golly, I'll comb the country for him, and when I catch up with him...
Catch up with him? Well, you might as well try catching a grease light. Answer that door with you, sir.
Certainly, Uncle Ned.
Howdy, miss. Your uncle... Oh, there he is.
Howdy, Sheriff. What can I do for him?
I wanted to know if your boys here caught up with the masked man.
If they caught up with him.
Yeah, I met him when they was looking for him.
You didn't find him then, Sheriff?
Nope, not a sign. Figured maybe you might have. When they told me what happened, Ned, I said I'd give him a hand. Say, I saw that Slater fella getting off the stage, but I didn't see him steal no money.
Yeah, like as not, you were too busy chewing the fat, Sheriff.
What do you mean, Ned Sawyer? I ain't got eyes in the back of my head.
No, I guess you ain't. If you're looking for a masked man, you're on the wrong track. I can tell you that much now.
You seem to know a lot about this for sticking so close to home.
What kind of a horse was the rider on, boys?
White one.
Sure, and I guess you didn't hear what he called the horse either.
I didn't hear him say. Hey, that's him.
You're covered.
Well,
Two guns and a mask. You're an outlaw, and you won't get away with
keep
this.
quiet, Sheriff. I reckon we met before. I can hardly call you stranger.
Hello, Mr. Sawyer. Tell these men here I'm not after their money.
Put your guns away, boy.
Can't trust anybody
You
wearing a
had
mask.
me. I said put 'em away. Rick, you don't know this man. Well, he's the Lone Ranger.
Lone Ranger.
Mr. Sawyer, I've come to talk to you about Gopher Gage.
Yes, that's what I figured.
He has the stolen cash, and he's still in these parts. He's not going to rest till he gets even with you.
Oh, no.
I'm sure of it.
I feared as much.
What have you got in mind?
We must bring Gage out of hiding.
Yeah, he's too smart.
No good trying to track him down.
No, you're right there, Sheriff. He's too smart to be tracked. But he can be tricked.
Tricked?
Yes. Gage is proud, isn't he?
So darn proud he brags no man ever lived long enough to identify him.
Except Ned Sawyer.
Yes, that's right.
His pride's had a bad jolt. That's why he's staying here. To finish off what he started.
What are you driving at, mister?
This is what I'm driving at. Sarah Thompson shot the man you two found dead.
What? You're local.
I don't see how
Why,
she...
I never did. I was right here all the time. I never even saw that man after I got off the stage.
There's a reward for Gopher Gage, isn't there, Sheriff?
There sure is. Ain't any man ever had the nerve to try going after it.
Sarah has.
What?
You're out of your mind.
Oh, for Gage.
No one except Ned can identify Gage. So the man Sarah trailed and killed might very easily be the outlaw.
You mean pay the girl the reward for Slater that's supposed to be for Gage? It don't make sense to me.
You don't have to actually pay the reward till after Gage is caught, Sheriff. But a rumor going around town would stir up a lot of excitement, wouldn't it?
I reckon it would. Almost any man in the West would give his eye teeth to have that varmint out of the way. Good and bad, they all hate him.
So, if it were known that Sarah captured him and received the reward for doing it, there'd be quite a celebration in town, wouldn't there?
Be enough to have Dodge City a-partying for days. But you ain't a-planning to send a girl out to catch Gage, are you? 'Cause I can tell you right now, I won't stand for
I'm
it.
beginning to see what he means, Sheriff. You just ain't listening close. You can start a story in Dodge City that the man found in the woods was Gage and that Sarah killed him herself. That's what you mean, ain't it?
That's right. Then, on the night of the celebration...
As Sheriff Jinks prophesied, the next night, Dodge City staged a celebration that rivaled the 4th of July. In the midst of the merriment, on the tip of every tongue was the story of the Sawyer cowhands, and Sheriff Jinks himself told over and over.
Yes, sir. By golly, I'll believe anything now. A girl, mind you. Get and go for Gage.
Land sakes, I don't know how she managed it, but it certainly was a great day for this town.
Big as a minute she is. Yes, sir, and she caught up the schemingest varmint in the West.
She ought to get twice the money.
Here's to Sarah Thompson. Bless the day she come to Dodge City.
On the edge of the crowd outside the Golden Peacock Cafe, a short, square man laughed bitterly.
A woman's gonna make Gopher Gage a laughing stock of the West. I'll show him. To laugh out of the other side of the mouth when I get through with him.
Turning on his heel, the small, heavy man walked from the crowd, mounted his horse, and rode off.
Get up there.
Reining up near Ned Sawyer's ranch house, he dismounted.
Boy, oh, steady there. This time I'll finish what I started. Sawyer regret the day he ever set eyes on Gopher Gage.
Yes, who is?
Got a message for you from the sheriff.
What is it? Gage.
Yeah. Mind if I ask myself in?
You
Just came to finish off something I should have taken care of a long time ago. All right. Close that door, Sawyer.
What is it, Uncle Ned? Is there...
So, this is a girl what's been bragging she killed Gopher Gage.
Uncle Ned, is this the outlaw?
Yes, this is the outlaw. Took me a long time to get around to finishing your uncle off. Now I got another job to do.
Oh, wait a minute, Gage.
You know darn well you didn't get that man.
I know.
Shut up! Make me the laughing stock, will you?
I only wanted to get the money
You'll
for...
be sorry you ever heard of that money. Thought you could claim to have killed me and get away with it, huh? Get the reward.
I didn't mean any harm. Uncle Ned said you looked a lot different.
Your uncle's the only man that ever lived to tell what I look like. That'll soon be changed.
I'll show you where that reward money is, Gage. Kill me, but free my niece.
I'll get the money. Don't you worry about that. Where's it head?
Let Sarah go. Let Sarah go, and I'll show you where it is.
Sure. I'll let her go and have the sheriff on my neck. You already pulled one trick, Sawyer. You ain't living to trip me up again. That don't happen twice.
But you can't kill, sir. You wouldn't.
Shut up and sit down over there.
But
I said sit down. You too.
Yes, sir. What are you going to do?
Where's that money?
Unless you let my niece go, Gage, you ain't ever going to get a word out of me.
All right, Sawyer. Ain't wasting any more time. You and... Who's that out there by the window? Masked. I'll show him.
Watch out!
Get back, sir. Out of the way.
My hand.
Look out!
He's reaching for that other gun.
I'm warning you, Gage.
You're under arrest, Gage.
Under arrest?
I heard all they needed to in the next room. If you wasn't already wanted, I'd get you anyway.
I'm mighty glad you shot that gun out of his hand when you did, masked man.
This is just two more things again, you, Gage.
A double cross, that's what it
You're
is.
darn right it was a double cross.
Thanks, Miss Thompson, for helping us capture
You
him.
told that story to get me to come out here.
We knew you'd come. All we had to do was wait for you.
So now, Sheriff, once you get Gage to jail, you'll probably recover Miss Sarah's money. And she has a reward coming besides.
I'll get out. And when I do...
You won't get out. The jail in Dodge City ain't as easy to get out of as it is to get into. Tie him up tight.
Well, that puts one of the worst killers in the West right where he belongs.
And he was a long time getting there, too.
Yes.
But we never would have caught him if it weren't for the Lone Ranger.
By golly, you're right. I sure owe him a heap of thanking. Where is he?
Well, he was here just a minute ago.
Silver! Boy!
The story you have just heard is a copyrighted feature of the Lone Ranger Incorporated.